So, like, how you doing? Cool. No level up info available. Not enough electricity. Well, that's bound to happen. But it's fine. There's more buildings coming along. He'll get his power shortly. So let's look at how this looks. We do have some cliffy things going on, which I'm not angry at. But, yeah, check it out. All these houses have a completely different vibe. Some of them, you know, some of them very different. Some of them like just a regular little house or this lovely sort of bungalow here. Good. So now, with that done, we'll grab our tree brush. Just fill in some of the blanks through here. We'll plant out some more down the bottom. This will just give us a bit more tree volume. First of all, it's going to help to hide the cliffs in people's backyards, but it'll have that real sort of Sydney vibe where everything's very bushy. I don't know about you, but I think that looks good. And it sounds good too. There's plenty of dinging and donging. Possibly a mild fire. Maybe putting in firewatch towers instead of fire stations. Maybe that wasn't the greatest idea in hindsight. But it's going to depend on whether or not this is able to spread before the fire engine can put it out. Which it can't. So that's good. Here we go. And people are starting to get in and use the park, which is great. Got our little campfire site here. We've got another one here. No tents around them, but that's okay. We've got these little spots like this. Oh, look at them. Sitting around in their chairs, having a beer, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the lovely wind whipping through these beautiful trees. Sounds good, right? Okay. So, what should we call this? Hillside? I mean, this is Vermont Peak, so let's call it... Oh, poo. Completely neglected to pop in a crematorium. And you know what? Down here in the commercial and services district is a good place to have some elder and childcare, which is having a great effect on the value of the properties in the area, including these guys. Hohoi! Hey! Yes! Good stuff. Excuse me. So hang on, let me just grab this. Oh, wouldn't this be great? Sitting here, you got your trees around your lovely little shack, but you can look out and see this beautiful skyline jutting up out of the forest. Or you might be further over here, pardon me, little burps there, looking out over the neighborhoods, or this way across to the other city centers across the river. Man, oh man. That's nice. Okay, so this is all coming along nicely. Out of curiosity, oh yeah. Yeah, look at the value through here. Very nice. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Ooh, it might be tricksy. I was thinking that I could put a pedestrian bridge over the highway here. But then I'd have to... Well, I could hook it into the park, I suppose. Baseball Guy Games? Hello. Welcome aboard. No, I don't. Not yet. I'm not sure. Yeah, well, no, I don't have the ability. I can do blimps. which is like kind of the shittiest. Got to get to 48,000 to get an airport. And we're miles away from that. But this is the way that I play. I play slow and, you know, boring. Or relaxed. Chilled. That's my preference. Don't know why that was disconnected. Fix that. Yeah, I prefer to just take things easy and let the city grow kind of naturally, like this. Did I not zone in here? Let's see. I did not. What about we have a little shopping strip, and these ones can be 3 wide and no further. Couple of little shops there on Pusey Lane. Groovy. I sense, though, that we're getting a fair amount of traffic of people coming across to get down to here. So we might have to do some, like, upgraded roads through there. But for the time being, I think it's okay. So, how are these guys doing? Fully upgraded, getting there. Okay, and these houses, education's going to be, yeah. Education's going to hold this whole section back for some time. Because the elementary school, that's medical, police, elementary, 117. And I think there was another one in here somewhere. There? No. There. 149. Okay. How is our education looking? Plenty of capacity. And 88% of our citizens have passed elementary school. I have 73 have passed high school and 64 passed university, which is pretty good. Public library is always trash because I always forget to put them in, but that's okay. And how are we doing over here? Everything's good? Very overeducated workers. Extremely overeducated. So what we might do is, again, I do want to eventually gentrify this area, but for now, let's just do a blob of it. The blob that is closest to residential. Empire Heights. Perfect. And let's give this guy the policy of... where is it? Industry 4.0 is what we're looking for. Blam. And the park is leveled up. Lovely. So let's crank that on and let's see if we can get some industrial waste dropped. Do I give a shit about workers' union? Probably, but I'll leave it for the time being. And I think that should be okay. Maybe industrial, yeah, space planning. That'd be cool. So let's get those 3 turned on for that section, and we'll see what we can do about getting the overeducated balanced out with regular workers. So these are looking better now. Much better. Not too good on the uneducated workers, but that's okay. Could probably go a little bit further. Let's go. One more block. And still lots of overeducated. In fact, we could probably just do the entire fucking thing, hey? Let's do that. Blomp, blomp, blomp. Done, done, done. How you doing? Looking good. Okay, great. So, Vermont Peak, and let's call this section here... I don't need to name it, but I'm going to. This is going to be called Vermont Valley. Boop. Done. Lovely. So, Vermont Valley, chugging along nicely. Let's get our new goodies into... Oh, Enrico. Thank you very much for the raid, my friend. Welcome aboard, everyone. My name is Astro, and I am currently playing City Skylines, as you may see from the game that is sitting in front of you and what it says on the screen and all that sort of jazz. We are building out the town of Industry Hopscotch, which doesn't really make a great amount of sense. But, you know, that's Loco for you. Which is this lovely map called BAM, which I strongly recommend that you check out if you haven't seen it before, because it's awesome. It is a really beautiful map with lots of goodies to be had. You start off with a hydroelectric dam. There are these beautiful roads that cut through all of these tree-lined fields. Over there in the distance, there's like docks and other things that we will get to eventually. This is evidently, that's going to be an airport, I would say. In fact, is it placed? No. But they have put down lights to give you the idea that that's where the airport's supposed to go. And yes, the list goes on. There's plumbing that comes from the starting water pumps that are over here that brings it into your starting area. So we started in this little zone here. And then we expanded out to add our industrial. And then, sorry, I tell a lie. We started here with our industrial. Then we expanded up onto the hill. We came down here and built a golf course for no particular reason. We expanded out onto this little island here to give us this little lovely residential zone. And then we had our first downtown area, which is kind of squiggly wiggly, but also gritty witty. And then, yeah, we've expanded here, got some industrial going on, another high density, and then some low density that we're slowly building out. But I then got distracted by building out this this little hillside neighborhood here, which I'm pretty proud of. So what have you guys been playing so far this evening? Or this afternoon? What time is it? Where are we? What day is it? What was your... Were you playing City Skylines as well? Enrico? Thank you. I appreciate that. Playing City Skylines? Nice. It's the beautiful thing about this game. Is you can just... Like, you can do... Like, I've done speedruns of cities in this game. And, yeah, you can crank a city out that's awesome in a couple of hours and it's super populated. But, on the flip side of that, you can take your time. And let's have one of these here as well. Did I just break something? No? Okay. Yeah, you can take your time and build slow and develop a beautiful, beautiful city that just... I'm not thrilled about the palm trees in this campsite, gotta say. No worries, Enrico. Thank you for the raid. I will pass it on. As is... Well, that's what we should do, right? But have a good evening, rest well, and I'll see you next time. What is that, 3 raids I've had so far this stream? I think that's a new record. I'm not complaining. That's cool. Alright. Let's let this tick up. I can hear so much dinging through here. Is it in here? Is it these houses that are dinging up? And as soon as I start looking for it, they stop. No, it must be... Over there? No? Who knows? Well, let's see. Hang on. There's an overlay for that. So if we look for... which one is it? Levels. Levels? Outside connections. Levels, this one. Bonk. Cool, thank you. Yeah, so this whole section here is fully leveled up. And then that's looking great. And yeah, these are sort of dinging from 1 to 2. and slowly working their way forward. These commercial, light commercial that we put in here immediately went to level 3. In no time. And they're, oh baby. Isn't that great? Now I wonder why this one, still education. Huh. Interesting. Is it because we don't have enough people that educated and well educated that is the problem? It may very well be. Yeah, maybe we actually have too much university. Or maybe we need to get some of those medium educated people from here down into the downtown area. And there might be a very simple way for us to do that. What we might consider doing... I mean, I could... Oh, fuck. Oh, this is now a problem. Yeah, okay. So, large volumes of pedestrian activity here, although it's a signalized light, so that's actually fine. So I can see, yes, there's a lot of vehicles that are coming this way. Let's actually have a look at where they are going to and from, huh? So let's grab this. Let's grab boom. And it's, I mean, it's all, oh my god, okay. Right. A walkway and cycleway, yes, is definitely a good starting point. So let's start there. I am going to have to potentially demolish a building or two to make the connection. Or, what we might be able to do is just relocate that and this. So that can be relocated over to here. Oops. So, you have to walk a little bit further to get to the cafe now. So, let's go ahead and we'll grab our combo pedestrian and bicycle path. And let's bring that out of here. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to be very, very deliberate with how we position this. So let's grab that from there to about, oh there. Then we're going to go up, oopsie daisy, to there, and then across, and let's see. So, I'm going to make a series of connections through here. I'm going to bring this track down, and we'll keep that sort of straight as possible there. It's not terribly straight, but it'll do. So then we're going to make a connection up to this road, so that this neighborhood is the first one to get that walk and cycle path. Then we want to bring it all the way down through here, connect it into the bottom of Vermont Valley, and then make a few targeted connections like at this section here, at this point here, and then down next to the childcare probably. So I'm going to come this way. I don't think topology is really something we need to super worry about at this stage. So let's just go like this. And I'm probably not going to have enough space to get in behind. No. So let's cheat. Not thrilled with this touching the highway, but Bunkers Avenue, I should say. But that technically then acts as a connection, so that's cool. Let's turn that back on, and let's get that connected to there. Let's have a connection up to, if we do it from here, we can get a nice gradient on it, so up to Twickenham Way, lovely. And then a connection from here down. And you know what? Let's have this network all the way from here as well. pardon me. That was pretty bad. Right, so how are we looking? Great amounts of traffic right off the bat. This is excellent. So, that should help to start to alleviate the pedestrian traffic that's then bottlenecking here. I mean, it's not bad here because it's got there's a traffic signal there, but down here it'll start to wreak a bit of havoc. There are also people coming down here to get the bus. Now, that's step 1. Step 2, increase cycle connections within this zone. And we're going to do that by getting our cycleway, which is this chap here. Maybe. We shall see. Now, hang on. Let me just think about this, because we've got this road through here, which is a heavy road, right? And then that loops down and out the bottom here. So what I want to do is mirror that, but in the opposite direction. So if we have this connect here, and then that can come through like this. Cool. So that gives us some cycle protection throughout the central business district. Let's see. Lots of traffic turning left. We're then getting some congestion during the turning phase. So, a roundabout here would undoubtedly help. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to lose a few things. This is going to need to move. It is probably kind of the worst place for it in the beginning, but actually, is there enough space over at the helicopter zone? There is, sort of. Not quite. Just a bump in the road? Did we have a little bit of a drop there, did we? Oh, this one. Yes. That one can definitely become a roundabout. And it absolutely... shitbags. That one can definitely become a roundabout and absolutely doesn't need to be that large. So, ideally, because there's 2-2... I want this to be a 3-lane. 3-lane. Let's make it a 3-lane highway. 3-lane highway? Let's see how this looks. And then we'll grab our roundabout fixie-fixie. And actually, you know what? I've just spotted that it is set to 100 kilometers an hour, which is probably a little much for a roundabout. So, that should help things to flow a little bit better through that section. And it also has the benefit of basically stopping pedestrians from coming through here at all, because pedestrians aren't allowed to actually even get into this. They could technically... No, they couldn't. Okay, so that'll stop all pedestrian access in that direction, which means let's go ahead and make another path that comes out of here. Maybe out of here. Connect that into there. Lovely. Now, the problem is that people that are walking this way, well, people that were walking that way should technically now come over and use the pedestrian bridge. To make that even better for them, let's grab another road and hook that up like that. Groovy. How are we looking? We're looking good. I still see a lot of pedestrians that are going this way. Where are you guys going? They're just crossing up here instead. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So this now, excellent traffic on that. This now becomes the problem. So what we could potentially do is put a roundabout here, but then having a roundabout here and a roundabout here so close to one another could be problematic. That could cause us some traffic issues. Why are there zebra crossings on the roundabout? It paints them in. I mean, technically, they could walk down this sidewalk and then cross over here and then walk back again. Like that person that just came out of that house, she could have walked down here, crossed here, and then gone back in that direction. That's technically allowed. But yes, it doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. I could like get in and remove it if I wanted to, but CBA. Okay, so the next thing we could consider doing here to alleviate traffic flow would be to increase the output of that road by using a small 4-lane road on this side. And we'll let that go all the way up like this. And may as well go down here. Oh, shit. Oh, well. So that can all be denser, which will allow more traffic out before starting to back up. The other thing we can do is, let's grab the, whoops. Let's try that again. That should help, and boom, and boom. Okay, so that should help traffic flowing up out of the intersection. We've already got down sorted out. And we're already starting to see that traffic slowing off. Now here, it looks like it's straight through traffic that's suffering. So what we might do is if we go to our medium roads, and then I'm just going to grab... No. A 6-lane. So I'm just going to upgrade these two back like 3 notches. And ideally, we want to have dedicated turning lanes. So let's go ahead and do that. So that can be straight or right. Straight, right. Yep, okay. And then this side, no adroit. There we go. So dedicated lanes for everything. They'll choose their lane back here. And then let's see how this starts to behave itself. I might need to extend this a little bit further, but at least now we can start to see, just by looking at which lane, pardon me for bumping the microphone there, we can see here which direction is the worst offender. And in this case, coming in from this direction, it's turning left. Coming in from this direction, it's anyone's guess. It's all over the shop. It seems to be straight through, and there's some lane changing going on here, which is always infuriating. So what we might do is if we grab our little lane tool here and say, you know what, lane 2, you can turn left as well. And we'll wait for that to recompute. And that way, both of those lanes should start to fill up. And it's not really making a difference. Change the traffic priority to left-right rather than up-down for that intersection. As in what I did with the 2 lanes there.